Welcome to Amazing Devotions for Men. These amazing devotions are lessons from men of the Bible, men like you or men you are acquainted with. They are from all walks of life. These lessons are a compilation of Bible characters that has been documented in a devotional for men, entitled, A Legacy. The greatest want of the world is the want of men. Men who will not be bought or sold. Men who in their inmost souls are true and honest. Men who do not fear to call sin by its right name. Men whose conscience is as true to duty as the needle to the pole. Men who will stand for the right though the heavens fall. This quote was taken from the book Education, page 57 by E.G. White. Sometimes it takes a tragedy to occur, to wake men up. Today's devotion is about a Levite, from the family of priests, whose tragic life experience shook the faith of him and his community, to the extent that he had to make a stand by taking drastic measures. This account is taken from the book of Judges, chapters 19 through 21. During the life of a certain Levite, the spiritual degeneracy of Israel had become normative to the point where apostate lifestyles had become epidemic among the children of Israel, until the Levite became the victim of a hideous crime. His experience made the unnamed Levite realize that though Israel had reached a pinnacle of sinfulness, God was still willing to stick with them. This heartbreaking account begins with the Levite's wife being unfaithful to him and ultimately abandoning him. He subsequently resorts to pursuing her, and goes to great lengths and distances for a reconciliation. He finds her in the house of her father, where he is detained, until she is ready to recommit to him. Men are constantly unfaithful to God, yet he chases after them relentlessly, to be reconciled with them. Similar to this Levite, God is willing to go to any lengths of reclaiming men when they are intentionally unfaithful to him. His patience is limitless, as he waits for men to return to him. As the Levite patiently waited until his wife was ready to return to him, so it is with God. He will not leave until you are ready and willing to return to him. After reconciling with his wife, the Levite prefers not to live among the ungodly with her and his servant, but travels a little further to a supposedly more godly city, where he and his wife suffer the perverted inhospitality there. No one had spoken out previously against the immorality of Israel, until the certain Levite was disrespected and his concubine grievously abused. It is unfortunate that it takes the life or serious injury of someone to occur, before protests are made, regarding the wickedness of a community. Men are content to live in a spiritually corrupt and sexually immoral society, until it affects them and their family. The fallout is very often with violent consequences, which is what occurred with this certain Levite. After succumbing to her injuries, the Levite mutilates his wife into 12 pieces, and sends them to each tribe, to shake them up into an awareness of their spiritual decline. His actions were the result of a civil war. Similarly, the eruption of violence occurs at the protest of moral awakening, only after a stray bullet kills a young child, an old woman is mugged, a young woman violated, or a young man shot multiple times. Had men spoken up before, lives would have been saved from the ravages of sin, and there would be a peaceful outcome without incident. The crimes men are committing today are just as disturbing and repulsive, and there is little being done about it. As professed men of God, you are meant to be a good example, just as the children of Israel were meant to be, but failed God and humanity. If your community is on a spiritual decline, don't be like the certain Levite. Speak out when something happens to you, a family member, or someone in your community. Now is the time to start doing something about it. You can start a Fathers Against Violence or mentoring program for your community. Your life and that of your loved ones may depend on it. I will bear the indignation of the Lord, because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause, and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Micah chapter 7 verse 9. Thank you for watching the Amazing Devotions channel. Your continued support is appreciated. The next devotion is about a man named Elkanah, whose wife could not have any children until she prayed for a son. This story is taken from the book of 1 Samuel, chapters 1 and 2. By subscribing, you won't miss any of these amazing daily devotions. Remember to tell the men in your lives about lessons from amazing men of the Bible.